Hi there! I hope that you have had a great weekend and that you'll have a great week ahead of you. Anyway, it's starting on a very bright note here at Huckster. I'm going to be hosting Raphael, and I'm going to be chatting with him on very interesting topics related to modular and transportable retail formats. Retail is looking at many ways to reinvent itself, to break free from many burdens that it used to have in terms of inflexibilities or inflexible possibilities. Many solutions are being presented on the retail market today. These solutions are helping retailers have new choices in terms of representations or in terms of choices regarding their distribution channels. It's really interesting what we're looking at to the dynamics of retail today. I will be discussing more about this topic with Raphael, co-founder of a French startup called Picnic. And we're going to not only look at the importance of the services or the type of services that Picnic provides. However, we'll be discussing the types of solutions that they are providing and why they are relevant in today's retail scene, and most importantly, why they are focused on what we call eco-responsible and customer-centric retail. So I'm going to join Raphael in order to talk about all of this in just a minute. So I'm waiting for Raphael to connect with me in a little second. So we will always welcome your comments and your questions. And if you have any particular questions to ask to Raphael, please don't hesitate. Hello.
Hi.
Salut, Raphael. We need you to
Hello.
flip the camera.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm on my cell phone, so
Yes,
just need
no
to flip it
worries.
over. No, but actually, now I see you
I
on
think you
the
have
other way
to
around.
I have to, yes, we let you flip one more time. Super.
All right.
Hello. Thank you for joining, Raphael.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure meeting you, and we are very excited to learn about you, about what you do, and about Picnic. So, without further ado, I will leave the floor to you to introduce us to you and to Picnic and to the team of Picnic.
Sure. Yeah. First of all, thank you for having us. We're glad to be able to speak about Picnic and through your media and via your community. So thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So yeah, welcome to Picnic. So I'm currently sitting in our workshop here in the Paris neighborhood in the suburb, and this is where we do our thing. So we actually have a specialty right here, and I'm currently sitting in a kiosk. So I'll give you guys later a tour. If
Yes,
you know that would be nice. If you can
yes,
see a bit around what we have going on, and to show you around so of the kiosk and the pop-up shops that we design and manufacture.
perfect. Raphael, tell us about the idea of Picnic. What is it and how did you think about it?
Sure. So yeah, Picnic started 2 years ago. We launched the company right about 2 years ago. We actually just had our second year's birthday, so we blew the cake with two candles, and it was quite fun.
Happy
So we
birthday!
thank you, thank you. Yeah, so the second year, and so yeah, we launched Picnic because we identify some issues and some lack of innovation, I would say, within the modular architecture. So pretty much today, when you would like to rent or buy a ephemeral architecture, so a modular one, you pretty much have solutions around the containers. So they are transformed in like big leaders, like Ageco and stuff like that, which is a French brand. It's the typical pre-made architecture. So with those solutions, you have heavy logistics, so big trucks, and you have to have like electricity. So you put some also generators with diesel, and you have to put it together. So you need a crew, like a staff, and pretty much all this costs you a lot of money, a bunch of time, and specifically and more importantly, you have an impact on the global environment. So pollution, either it's visual pollution because you need a heavy truck and all that. Of course, atmospheric pollution and sound pollution because also a diesel generator makes a lot of noise. So all kind of constraints pretty much. And on those issues, we developed a solution. And the solution is the picnic system. It's pretty much an architecture which is innovative with the integration of mobility within it. So on wheels, pretty much on the car, I would say, without actual motor, but it's definitely mobile, and so that will save you some time and definitely is the logistic part of it. And then it's modular, of course. You can put it to different uses, and as well as autonomous and self-sufficient in solar energy and wind energy. So we have batteries, and it allows us to be a total freedom. So that's what we provide to our clients.
Perfect. So we're talking about enhancing a system that might have been there, or the idea that might have been there, but we have added so many solutions that made today Picnic very ingenious in terms of proposing to the client a service that is not only well designed, but is also environmentally friendly and self-sufficient. And this we will elaborate in a few.
Absolutely.
Raphael, why the interest today in modular or mobile retail formats?
So I think comes from our background. So we are three co-founders, Nicolas, Maxime, and myself, and we actually are childhood friends. So we've known each other for a while, and it basically comes from our background, where we come from, and actually where we grew up, and also the education that we had, as well as our first work experience. Because we're all around 30 years old, so we had just a few years of work experience prior to launching Picnic, but all that allowed us to understand the modular architecture environment. And Nicolas is an architect, and he studied architecture, and he worked in a company that did some refurnished, I would say, rehabilitation of containers.
Mm-hmm.
So that gave us a little idea of what was the insights problems of this area and how tiny the market was in terms of supplies, but the demand is huge. And we all three of us have, of course, a hobby and an interest for architecture. So when we thought about the project about 3 years ago, I mean 2 years and a half ago, we with this work experience and the talents that we can bring to the table, we were like, okay, that might be something to do. And of course, the market is growing. So that's why we end up doing the Picnic.
Yeah, perfect. Lots of heart put into that project. Now that the Picnic concept is stabilizing on the market, how are you finding actually the reaction from brands towards your services? Are brands more interested in coming over to you and asking you to do some modular concepts to meet their needs, or are you still approaching brands to propose your services to them?
So currently, Picnic, we're working in 4 different fields. Specifically, first of all, we have it's promotion immobilière, as what we call in French, but it's like pretty much people that sell buildings, to put it simply, and we allow them to have out of office sales spots. So it's pop-up shops, but specifically for this environment. Secondly, we're working closely for companies that do transport operations. So like Transdev, which is the world leader in this area. So the same thing, we allow them to have a out of office space. So it's of course mobile and solar powered, but that makes them a lot easier to go where the flow is. That's the idea, right? You can position the product wherever there's some folks, and one day it can be on one area of the street, and the other side can be on the other side of the city. So that's definitely what they're looking for. Thirdly, we're working closely with the fooding area, so street food solutions. And lastly, it's the events. So events with the organizers on one side and with the agency as well. So we work, of course, with the retail industry, and so either with agencies or right away straight up with them. And the idea kind of go back and forth, and we can work with a specific design, or we have solutions that are ready to go. So it depends on their needs.
Okay, and of course on the budget, we'll talk about that later. And we have a little question. Someone is asking if it's easy for a brand to have a modular retail space. I mean, as you have just explained now, any brand can come to you and ask you to either propose a ready space or to create or reinvent something for them, right?
Yeah, so with Picnic it's definitely easy. I don't know about with other providers, but with us, yeah, it's. I mean, a modular retail space depends if we're talking about the regular brick and mortar or the pop-up shop, but and where you sitting, right, where you actually doing business, if it's in France or Europe or other countries, clearly the laws and regulations are quite different. But in France, we also do as a service, in Europe as well, to put it in all the administrative part. So we can do everything from A to Z, provide you the shop itself, but also the space, the retail space. So we'll work closely with some companies that allow you to have a spot on the train station. For example, last week we set up a client turnkey in front of the Marseille train station, the big one. And everything was taken care of, so he just has to do his job on his part, and everything else is fine. So it can be very quickly and easy with the Picnic system.
So you're helping retailers really facilitate the task and just jump in to that kiosk and start doing business. No headache for them.
It's
perfect.
Turkey, that's the idea. Yeah.
Yeah. And now that we are talking about these flexible retail formats, can you explain to us how the space can be self-sufficient, and to what extent today it's very important for a design to be self-sufficient in terms of energy, connections, and etc.?
Of course. So let me show you real quick. It will be a lot easier. Images speak for 1,000 words. So here we are. I'm actually sitting inside of a tiny kiosk. It's one of the smallest ones that we have. And the idea is, if I flip this around, so I'm in here, right? Well, that's my office desk actually. There's a screen going right here. So of course the products are digital, the mix of digital and physical. Either way, so here we are, and I can just open it real quick, push it through. And it's open smoothly. So here we are. To answer your question, so the energetic part. So we have in here a battery system that can stock the energy and have also the data compiling, so we can send our clients some reports. So we have big power in here, and then those batteries are powered by the solar panels on top on the roof.
Okay.
So on this model, we have about 650 watts. And so, yeah, the principle is you create energy, right, with solar power, and you put it into batteries. And after that, you can, put your screen. We have also have an iPad over there, and the wheels are right under here.
Okay, so the kiosk stays on the wheel, actually, and you can move it around on its wheel, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And once it's set up, well, you don't see the wheels anymore. It's just ta-da, and it's ready to go.
Wow, super
and so
nice.
here you can go and do your little iPad thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's ready to go. And so we have different models depending on the needs, but the principle, those are like the tiny kiosk, and we have also bigger architectures. But
Okay.
the energy part of it, to answer your question, yeah, solar panels, sorry, and we also have we work with wind turbines. We
Hmm.
actually just delivered a big one, and with the wind turbines, and so yeah, we can work with a bunch of different renewable energies.
And Raphael, do you always mix up the structure using wood and metal, or do you have other formats, for example, that could use some sort of recycled plastic, or do you have your signature with the wood finishing from the exterior?
So we work with steel. Indeed, this is steel, right? Welded steel,
Yeah.
and of course different types of woods. The wood is also has a certification, so eco-friendly one,
Hmm.
and the steel is recycled and recyclable. So we do our part on this side as well. And for the wood, it really depends on the budget because you can have all kind of different exotic woods or just the local ones depending on the needs. But yeah, we definitely have a global product analysis of the life cycle that provides insights of the impact of sourcing the actual
Sure.
steel and wood,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
exploitation, and then possible recycling that as well. So
So we're
definitely
talking
have a
about a kiosk or a format that is made out of entirely recycled and recyclable material that is
definitely.
self-sufficient in terms of energy due to the solar panels, and that could be transported anywhere or everywhere.
That's right.
And we are talking also about a very important point which you raised earlier, and I think we should give it more elaboration, which is this connection between, or this opportunity between the physical and the digital world through these kiosks. This is very important today. How are you conceiving these kiosks to be more interactive or more customer centric?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're working hard on that. So the idea, of course, is to have a physical product where we make hardware and architectures innovative by the aspects I've explained. However, we like to go a bit further, and of course, currently we do integration of digital screens, iPads, and touch screens. Whatnot, of course, music. You can have your sound system. You can have fridge, the lights, anything you need, right, for basic comfort or business. We like to take it a bit further. So currently we're working on also data combining on the part of the eco friendly part, meaning on the autonomous system, how much energy we're providing and how much we're consuming. So you can actually, through the iPad here, the touch screen, give insights to your consumers or to your clients. Well, this is how much energy the kiosk is providing, and
Yeah.
it's very interesting to give this type of communication to make people understand what is self-sufficient architecture and
Architecture.
energy. So
Yeah.
and solar panels, of course, and all that stuff. So that's the first part. So we're already doing this, and we can have reports ships up to our clients is to say that this week you the solar panels provided that much energy and you use that much, so it's very interesting. And the second thing we're doing is something new. Actually, we might see on one of the products over there. Well, the idea is to go further and to be able to have a data about how well the kiosk is doing. Well, we currently have cameras that allow you to have data on the flows of people, meaning you can set up a picnic in one street area and you will be able to do by the end of the day how many people you interact with, how many people will go to check out your product, your offer, your service,
Yeah.
and that's something we're working hard on to have the digital product.
Yeah, and this is really interesting because at the end of the day, we want to invest in these types of spaces, but we want to see to what extent we are engaging with our customers. Really nice. We have
Yeah.
another question. Someone already commented up there that they are very happy. They are hearing about this, and they haven't heard about you before, so they are very happy. So thank you, Raphael. And are these spaces suitable for any type of brand? I mean, I think with a kiosk or with street food, sure, we're talking about food brands, but do you think that this type of kiosk could be suitable also to sell fashion products or other types of offerings?
So, hi, Urad. Thanks for the question. Yeah, it's definitely suitable for any type of businesses and services. We basically have three family of uses with the picnic system. First of all is pop-up shops. So, of course, you can sell whatever type of products. It can be food, but also, of course, clothes, like you mentioned. It's definitely possible, whatever else. Also, work closely to be like a ticket shop, so we can have a printer in here and your computer, so yeah, no worries about that. The second is services, services to the people. Either it's the information, it can be communication on type of on those type of level. And lastly, it's for events, so it's more like it's very modular, so it can be pretty much all kind of type of use, but it's for sure open to all kind of brands that would like to try out the pop-up shop system, and definitely a way to limit the investments, the initial investment of launching a business, and also to check out the area you would like to maybe put a brick and mortar shop later. So it's a great way also to test out like a district or a street specifically and see what the answer of the public and of the clients are.
Yeah, sure, sure. Very interesting point, especially with the pop-up stores today. In terms of a project, if we are interested, let's say, in doing a small kiosk or a pop-up store with you, what is the delay time between ordering a concept and receiving the physical thing and making it ready to use?
So we have different solutions. First of all, we can rent the kiosk, the architectures. So we have different models in stock, and we always so we design and manufacture at Picnic. We have a control of the whole life cycle. Anyway, so yeah, we can rent them for a short period of time or long period of time. We service it. We can do the logistics, the transportation. So the setup of the shop and all that, the data system as well. I was telling you. So the customization. So that's all kind of service we can do that are related to the renting, and of course we all can also sell them. So it depends really on the needs, on the time frame as well. And it can be very quick. So for renting, it's available right now. If you get interesting, we open. And if and for the building part of it. Let's say someone has a special order and for the kiosk currently for like a model like this one I'm sitting, it's about a month from the order to the shipping.
Yeah. Okay.
So pretty quick, yeah. We can.
It's really quick and really can help the brand benefit actually from what he's looking for. I will show the audience some of the examples that you sent out to me earlier. These are examples of the work that you do. For example, here are we looking at a services kiosk?
So yeah, so this is Tour de France from last year, and so this is for the organizer, and we're actually supposed to do also this year because the Tour de France is supposed to be maintained in September. So we have these kiosks that are at the start of the race and at the end of the racing, and it's right at the entrance of the village, which allows them to pick up their tickets. So it's like a ticket shop and information as well. It's very visible, and you can see that was in Belgium actually. That was set up this one. That was the first day of the race, and yeah, it's easily set up. It's actually on the walkway. If you can tell, it's on the walkway, so it's easily set up anywhere between all these urban furnitures. So yeah, that's a good use.
So we're creating touch points really at the places where customers flow the most in order to make our brand readily available and just in front of them. I'm going to show this one also.
Yeah. this for the Vedigo. It's like a public and private entity, but anyway, they have actually you see the little blue bike on the bottom right corner.
Yes,
So this is
yes.
what they provide. It's a service for the population, the Parisian population, and they actually rent you some bikes, some electrical bikes. So it's pretty cool. And so we did street marketing campaign for them, and we actually are doing some more in September. It allows them to make people try the bike, which is very cool. It's a great bike, by the way. And also they can convert the users in clients because they have the iPad ready to go and you can sign up. So yeah, well, we actually have and with them we help them out with the logistic as well. So we do a turnkey campaign, and you know, they just yeah, they trust us and they come back. So meaning we have a great service as well. So we have some more coming up in September for Vedigo.
Great. And in this case, the kiosk is used for communication purposes more than for selling or for conversion purposes.
Yeah,
and I have this very nice picture here. I think it's a ice cream shop.
Yeah, definitely. It's a tasty French ice cream. It's called Sonoble, and yeah, this is a concept that we did last year, last summer, and we implement the shop. So we design and manufacture the kiosk, of course, which was tailor-made. The whole inside was also adapted to the client. So of course they do an ice cream, they need a freezer and all that stuff. So we did everything from A to Z, and we shipped the kiosk to the spots, and we also did the reservation of the area. So that was actually in front of the train station. It's called Gare de l'Est in Paris, big train station. So we actually rented the spot from SNCF, and which is the train holding company, and we subleased it to Sonoble. So they really, all they had to do is put up the register and sell the ice cream. Yeah. Which is already quite a lot. That's the job, yeah.
Exactly. Perfect. So I think this is the last picture that I have. This is a bigger space than the ones that we saw, right?
So we have different categories of products, and with different sizes. You show a different sizing, which is Picnic M, Picnic L, Picnic XL. This is the XL you have in front of you, and it's actually two buildings. It's made of two models, 15 square meters per unit, and you can actually plug them together. And they are mobile. There's still wheels under it. It's still a vehicle. And you can see the wind turbine as well, and it is 30 square meters of solar panels on the roof. So it's the whole comfort you have for a regular house, and the use of this building was for promotion of a new apartment complex. So we work with ICAD, which is a very famous one, and yeah, it's also, you have, of course, the whole every comfort that goes with the office. So we have what we call pompe à chaleur, so it's like AC, hot and warm, but you know, alimented by the solar energy and wind turbine, and everything you need for the out of the office shop. So that was total 30 square meters inside of it.
Perfect. I'm going back solo. So, Raphael, we talked about the importance of design. We talked about the importance of modular design and all the advantages that it could bring to brands. And we also evoked the importance of customer experience today through injecting these spaces in front of them. So what are the futures of customer experiences and these modular types of stores? Do you think that modular retailing is here to stay?
I think so. I think the modular is here to stay and grow for a couple of reasons. First of all, I think the clients and the brands need flexibility. They need to test out, like I was saying earlier, their geolocation, their product and offer. And not everyone is Macy's with a big budget, even though currently not doing so well. And so all our new brands are able to test out with this pop-up shop system, and that's a great solution for them. And they can also keep doing the mobility part, and it's great to go. I think the basic thing is you're able to go get your client instead of letting them come to you. That's the very basic of the system. and it's very efficient for them, and you can also have feedback from them right away. It limits the cost, of course, the initial investments, and it's pretty cool as well. And lastly, you also save the planet if you work with Picnic. At least since we have a eco-responsible engagement.
Yes.
So I think it's definitely the present and the future, and the market of the modular architecture itself is growing quite a lot. Either it be for retailing, like we're talking about right now, but for all the other industry and applications, is definitely growing. And for even regular houses, it's coming very strong. We actually also have some projects within the housing industry. So basically, since we're doing, out of innovative buildings and that are mobile and solar powered, well, we can also, make people sleep in it. Might as well.
Yeah, very interesting and really good to highlight that point in order for people and brands to know that they are not doing any concession on whatever has to do with the interior or the retail aspect of it. On the contrary, they are benefiting not only from having a better experience through these types of shops, but also benefiting the environment, which is a very important point that we should highlight today. In your experience and what you have done till now, what are the types of advices or what are advices that you can give to brands who would like to engage in modular formats?
Well, I guess it really depends on the brand and what they're looking for. What are the key return on investment they would like to go to? Because I think there's two situations. There might be more, but I see two. The first of all, you would have a client, for our client, a brand that would like to right away sell products. If the goal is to ultimately just have revenue, so sell the products, which is usually the end point, of course, the end mean. But if it's the objective right away, well, you have to have a strategy, a geolocation, and a product that goes with it. A product like a kiosk, I mean. On the other hand, some other brands do this type of pop-up shops to more like a marketing and communication strategy, and the return on investment is a bit farther on the timeline, on the frame. So they would expect later to have a brand awareness and to make people taste or discover or try their products in some ways. And it's more like a brand awareness thing, and it's just basically strict marketing, and that's great. It's just so it's just two-tier strategy, and we can help them out in both of them of the ways. And usually they kind of mix both. They expect to kind of sell a few products, but also expect to raise the awareness or make people try the service of the product that they provide. So that would be like, of course, the first advice I would give. Be able to understand on which side you would like to go, or a mix of both a bit. And I think you definitely need a picnic to help them on the way to be able to set a boutique in France or in Europe.
Yeah, perfect. So just to highlight these important things, first of all, if we want to engage in these types of projects with you, how can we contact you?
So you can reach us at www.picnic.paris, Paris. And
Okay.
you have a contact form on the top of the page. Please reach us out, and we'll be glad to talk to you.
Perfect. And second, we're saying that these types of spaces could be sent out anywhere in France, but also to Europe, right?
Absolutely. Our vehicles are registered and certified for all Europe. So EU, it's all good. The kiosk actually, he's been doing quite of a road, and our picnics are ready to go anywhere in Europe. So, and even further, we're ready to discuss it as well. No worries about that.
Perfect. Thank you. Raphael, is there anything that we didn't discuss and you would like to add on to this conversation?
Well, I think we changed it quite a bit. I don't know if there are any questions from the audience. I didn't check it out.
I think we made the tour of questions. We had lots of thank yous and interesting and nice
Some emojis. Yeah.
and some emoji and lots of waves. You had lots of waves while you're talking. I think
Cool.
it's important. I mean, I'd invite everyone to who joined us at the end to go to Instagram TV because this chat or this episode will be available on Instagram TV and later on YouTube. And I'd invite anyone and everyone who would like to get in touch with you to either consult your website page or maybe through Instagram as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Please follow us. We are a young startup and we need an audience. And yeah, where we're going currently, we talk about currently, but we're going we're actually growing, so it would have a nice future and a bright future. So the ambition is to keep going of developing technology as well as innovation within this modern industry. And so yeah, next time you think about pop-up shop, you think about picnic.
perfect. I think we will. And thank you so much for all these information. And we wish you luck in your future projects. And we hope to speak with you soon on future plans that you are having. So we're happy to discuss any new stuff that you would like to share with us on this page. Thank you,
Sure.
Raphael, and have a nice evening.
I appreciate you. Thank you for having us, and thank you for the audience. We're here to help.
Thank you so
All
much.
right. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.